Hello, dear friends. Welcome back to our channel. Welcome back to Mabel Loves Football. We are back again with a very interesting topic tonight. Today, we are going to discuss about all the matches that were played this week. And we are sorry that we've not been doing the previews and reviews of the matches that were played last week. But now we are here. We are going to discuss all those matches. We look at how the matches went. Of course, yesterday we had a big match, Manchester United versus Spurs, and also we had Chelsea play Brentford at West London. Again, yesterday we saw Liverpool getting back to the winning ways. They got a win. I mean, they got a win 1-0 against West Ham. Very good goal from Nunez Darwin. Most of the fans, most of the pundits here have been slandering Nunez Darwin, but it seems that Nunez Darwin is back. I mean, he's getting goals. Yesterday, he also got a couple of shots on target, and he's doing well. I think it was unlucky that he did not get a hat trick yesterday. So what do you have to say about that? Let's start from that point. I mean, let's start from Nunez Darwin. You guys have been slandering Nunez Darwin from the first time he entered in English Premier League. What have you seen from him now?
He's trying. I can say that he's just but trying. You see.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure if Mane could still be at Liverpool, it could be a very different story. That's why I've been saying that these guys have not yet replaced Sadio Mane. You see, the issue was the issue was replacing Sadio Mane, and it has not happened. So I can say that Darwin Nunez is just trying, because before he came to Liverpool, he was at Benfica. He was a very different guy. You could see the hunger. He was very ruthless. Like, he was scoring a lot of goals. But when he came to he came to Liverpool, it's a different story. But I can say that also the EPL is a very different league. It's a very tough one. So actually, he is not yet at his best. He still has to click. He still has to adapt and all that. So I think he's not yet at his best. Let's give him more time, and we will see. We will see whether he can offer more than that. Let's give him time. Let's give him this season. Let's give him this season.
Okay, exactly. Let's give him this season so that we can see whether he can get around 15, 20 goals in this season. If he get 15 goals, that would be a good start for him. I mean, of course, you guys, from the start, you guys say that he won't get even to 20 goals in a season. I mean, even 10 goals into a season. Most of the people say that he was going to sit on the bench. Seems that he's taking his chances very well. So, guys, that was just an introductory of our topics that we're going to discuss today. Please, if you're here for the first time and if not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing to the channel so that each and every time we are here, we have a discussion. Please, you make sure that you get the notification so that you can be with us and tell us the comment that you have about the games, about the players, about the managers, and some of the things that you've watched and seen from the previous matches that have been played. So guys, welcome back. Today we have a very serious topic. Today we are going to look at Manchester United, how they bounced back from a draw that they had. They played last weekend against Newcastle. They got a 0-0 draw, but yesterday they bounced back. They scored 2 goals, and the second half goals from Bruno Fernandes and Fred. Of course, Fred's goal was a deflection from Ben Davies, I think, if I'm not wrong. So we are going to look at that and how they played. Look at their defense. Of course, they kept a clean sheet. The partnership between Martinez and Varane has been performing very well. They've got 7 or 9 clean sheets, if I'm not wrong, from some of the matches that they've played. It seems that they have a very good partnership. Again, we'll look at the midfield. Yesterday, Casemiro and Fred. Casemiro played very well, and also Fred was playing very well. So we look at that. And then their front, of course, they got goals from the midfield, from Bruno Fernandes and Fred. We'll talk about Anthony. I know you're a big fan of Anthony. You'll tell me what you think about him. And earlier today in our group chat, you guys were talking about him. You're comparing him with I think there was another guy who was comparing him with your guy called Nelson. I mean, talk about dribbling skills. So we look at that. Again, we will discuss about Chelsea. Of course, Chelsea have been keeping clean sheets. As you've said, Chelsea have been keeping clean sheets. And the only problem is that now we are not scoring goals. Of course, only yesterday we didn't score goals, but before we used to score goals and keep clean sheets. Good thing that our goalkeeper has improved. Kepa is doing the basics right and also doing the extraordinary, making saves. So we are happy about that, especially on that defense part and how they are keeping clean sheet, and immensely contributed by our goalkeeper. So we look at that and see whether the improvement from the back is going to help the midfield going forward to score goals, so that at least they can be solid at the back and also be lethal up front. So that is some of the things that we're going to discuss. Again, we'll talk about Arsenal playing PSV tonight. It's going to be a very tough match, and I think that is going to be a big test for Arsenal. Of course, they've not met a very serious team in Europa League, so this is the time that they're going to meet PSV. So these are some of the things that we're going to discuss. So let's start with Chelsea. Of course, we'll talk about PSV as the last topic. Let's start with Chelsea. What you saw against Brentford yesterday. Of course, we started with Kepa in goal with three centre backs. We had Kalidou Koulibaly. We had who else was there? Chalobah, and who else? I think Cucurella. Azpilicueta was there. Again, Loftus-Cheek was playing as a right wing back at the right wing back position. Cucurella was at the left wing back position. Then on the midfield we had Jorginho and Gallagher. Up front we had Havertz, we had Broya and Mount. So these are the players that started yesterday. So tell me what you saw yesterday, and probably what you have to comment about that match.
Actually, I'd say that you guys have kept clean sheets so far, but actually, you guys have to score goals. You really have to score goals, because actually, I'd say that Chelsea has, this is my opinion, the way I see Chelsea, it's not the Chelsea I used to know back then, because nowadays I don't see, you as a Chelsea fan, you might say that, okay, we are good enough. But as for me, I don't see Chelsea if you are good enough now. You guys, when it comes to attacking, actually, you guys need very good attackers. And in January, I expect you guys to sign a good attacker. Okay, you guys have Broja, have Aubameyang. But as for me, I don't think if your attacking options or your attacking force is quite good enough. Actually, I don't see the spirit. I don't see the spirit. I don't see nothing. Actually, I don't know. This is not the Chelsea I'm expecting to watch. I expect something better from Chelsea. Actually, I've been watching this Potter ball.
Yeah, they call Potter ball. Yeah.
Yes, Potter ball.
Yeah.
And as people say, you guys know, many people say that the attacking force is not good. It's just they say it's just vibes and inshallah. You see, it's guys, you're not good enough. You're not good enough. You have to do something. You have to give the fans. They have to give the fans something better. This is not the Chelsea I used to know. I expect something better from Chelsea. Actually. Chelsea back then was the real Chelsea. But actually, you guys, from yesterday, let's talk about yesterday's match. Actually, you guys were really you are trying to attack. You are trying to attack, yes. But actually, I feel that you guys need a better or a forward, a center forward who is very hungry, who is very lethal, who is very ruthless. That's what I'm talking about. Actually, I miss seeing Chelsea with a striker like Diego Costa back then. That was the striker I'm talking. Now that's an example. That's a very good example.
Exactly.
So actually, yes, I need to see Chelsea with a good striker, with a good center forward, a center forward who is very hungry, who's very ruthless, who's very lethal, and who's very accurate when it comes to scoring goals or trying to get goals. You also need an attacker who can link up very well with the other players, who can link up, or not a striker who's going to wait to be fed with balls so that he can score. So that's what I'm talking about. You guys need a good central forward. That's what I'm talking about. So actually, I'd say that let's give Graham Potter some time, because he's really trying as well. He's really trying, because he has been getting results out of that Chelsea team you have. And it's very tough for a new manager to come in and start performing from the start. It's very hard. A good example is Ten Hag. You see, he started to struggle, but actually Graham Potter has not lost a game yet. Yes,
he hasn't. Yeah, he hasn't lost a game.
Yeah, so that's something.
There are no signs for him to lose a game. I don't think we've seen those signs. We haven't seen the signs of him losing a game. So
actually, I expect him to lose on Saturday. I expect him to lose on Saturday, because when you look at that Manchester team and when you look at this Chelsea team, they have a very big difference. To me, they have a very big difference. So I expect him to lose on Saturday. Not unless, okay, I as an Arsenal fan, because I'm on top of the table, I'd love to see Chelsea win. I'd love to see Chelsea win. But actually, it's very tough. It's very hard.
Now, there's something that you've said. You've talked about this is not the Chelsea that you really used to know. I mean, what is the difference from now? I would like to know the Chelsea that you're comparing this current Chelsea with. Which one do you think was the best? Like the one that you can pick, like we can do a case study from that Chelsea to this one, and maybe say, where do you think this Chelsea is supposed to improve? Because I think we have the quality. Yesterday, from the bench, I saw Pulisic came in, and I saw a lot of improvement in the team. Again, I think we have the talent. When you look at the players at the bench, they are quality players, a lot of talent. Now, tell me the difference. I mean, you've talked of the striker. Again, I agree with you. We don't have a lethal striker, an angry striker who is one that you can compare with Diego Costa. But again, when you look at Broja, he shows you something. He's a bit hungry. The only problem is that he's not an experienced player. Like yesterday, he had so many chances, or his decision making was a little bit poor, because at some point he ran with the ball. He had a chance to square the ball to, I think, Mount or Harvard. I don't remember who was there. He didn't. He wanted to score himself. I didn't know what he wanted to do. He ended up squaring the ball, but at the wrong time and at the wrong place. So when you look at that, at least a bit of aggressiveness from a striker, Broja has it, but the experience to finish the dinner is where the problem is. So, I mean, I just wanted to know which Chelsea do you compare? The one that you say is the real Chelsea that we can do the case study from that Chelsea.
Okay, actually, I'd say that you remember the Chelsea team that had people like Hazard. You guys had William in the same team. You guys had Diego Costa up front. You guys had Fabregas just behind Diego Costa. Actually, let's not talk about the Chelsea when the time you guys had Drogba and all those people. No, that's a long time ago. That's long time ago. But actually, it's just the recent one. The recent. So I'm talking about the times you guys had Hazard. You guys had Willian on the other side. You guys also had someone like Pedro, you see, and you guys had Diego Costa and had someone like Fabregas. Actually, you knew someone would know that today we are going to concede goals, because during that time, actually Chelsea was at its best, because actually those guys were really giving the best for the team. They were really trying. They were really struggling. They are trying to fight for the team. You could see that actually this is Chelsea. I'm supporting Chelsea. This is the Chelsea I want to see. So that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, So and another issue right now is N'Golo Kante. You know, N'Golo Kante, the team was depending on N'Golo Kante for quite a long time. And N'Golo Kante, to be honest, N'Golo Kante is a very good player.
Exactly.
Yeah, those times N'Golo Kante was not prone to injuries. So that's what I'm talking about. Azpilicueta was also good. He's also good now. He was also good that time. So actually, that Chelsea team, it was on another level. You could know that today we are going to concede goals. You see?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So actually,
Okay.
you guys, and the way you said, like Broja, is not okay. Yes, the aggression and all that, but actually the other abilities or the other stuff, he does not have some abilities. Now that's what I was talking about. Actually, you need a complete striker. You need a complete striker. Yes.
Okay.
Now that's the point. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. So I think from what I picked from you, you see those guys, the likes of Diego Costa, those are special. Those were very special players. The Hazards, Drogba's. Of course, Drogba also played with the likes of Hazard when he came back in the second round. Willian, they were very special players. They could pick a ball by themselves and do something brilliant. I mean, individual brilliance. Sometimes you could not get through defenses. Some of the very tough defenses, like the Burnleys, the Stokes, but you'll see Hazard picking a ball, dribbling past players, and getting something special from there. I remember a goal he scored against West Ham. It was a very good goal. A goal he scored against Arsenal when Coquelin tried to tackle him, but he fell him down. Remember him? Remember that goal?
Yes, the guy got the ball from the middle of the pitch, and he went ahead to score. I remember very well. So I think he's gone. So guys, we are talking about Chelsea. We are talking about this Chelsea team. Actually, as for me, I see a very big difference from the previous Chelsea team.
Yeah.
Are you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
So yes, so I'm seeing a very different Chelsea right now from the previous Chelsea, because actually even you can see the difference. You can see the difference. There's a very actually, and the thing is, I wouldn't say that I wouldn't talk much about it because this is a very different generation as well. You know, generations do change. Generations do change.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, you guys have to strengthen your team a little bit. I don't have an issue with Sterling. Sterling really tries a lot. He's trying to get goals. He's trying to create chances as well. So yeah, so actually you have to strengthen your team. But the problem is in January you guys are going to go for someone like Ronaldo. Now that's another problem. Get good players.
I don't think it's confirmed. I think Ronaldo is a bit frustrated at United, and with his situation at United, I don't think he'll want to still stay in England because it seems that the media is on him now. Like you remember what happened yesterday. So everybody is he's facing a backlash from the media. So I don't think he'd want to still remain in England to continue facing the same backlash. You see, we still have Aubameyang at our disposal, and I think we can still rely on Aubameyang. I don't think we need Ronaldo at the moment. But if the owner want to bring him at Stamford Bridge, we'll still support him as long as he's our player, and he's still my goat. I mean, I really respect him. I think he's being treated unfair at United. Yes, he was told to warm up from minute 80, and at minute 86, I think somebody else was given a chance. It's human. I mean, you can feel a bit frustrated. So I feel Ronaldo, and I think the problem is that he's kept playing at a very old age. They say that doesn't matter how good you are in dancing, and you should know when to leave the stage. I think
Yes.
this is the time for him to leave the stage. He's played his part. He's done well, but now
And
this is the time for him to leave the stage at a high.
and the issue is, right now, United are winning without him playing. So actually, he has to
Yeah,
leave. He
yeah.
has
And
to
then
get
look at
another.
and then look at the last match they played with him in the team. They lost. I mean, they lost the point. Of course, they got a draw. Maybe some of the problems that are facing up front is attributed to him being in the field. We saw yesterday Bruno Fernandes performed very well. Apparently, some of United fans are saying that when Bruno plays with Ronaldo, he doesn't perform very well. But when he's in the team alone, at least he performs well. So maybe it's something to think about, and maybe get Ronaldo into these games, the likes of Europa League, and then Carling, try and get some goals there to get the stats.
Yes, let him go to Bundesliga. It will be better.
But he still has something to offer. I think so. I think so. I think so. He still has something to offer in that team. You see, sometimes experience is what matters in big stages. Remember last season, he's the one. He's the one who bailed them out in group stages of Champions League.
And the issue is, the issue is different. If United were in the Champions League this season, he could be
Yeah.
getting chances in the Champions League. I'm very sure he could be starting in the Champions League.
Probably could be starting.
Yes.
But you see, they have a new manager who seems not to favor him at all. I mean, he plays those guys who he feels are supposed to play, those who deserves to play. So I don't think with Ten Hag he has a chance if he doesn't perform well. But if he performs well, he'll definitely get a chance. Because when you look at the likes of Luke Shaw, they've been given a chance to prove themselves, and when they're doing well, at least they're getting a spot. Casemiro, at least it took a little bit of time for him to gel with the team. Now he's gelling with the team and he's getting a chance, getting the chances. So I think let's try and cut him some slack. I mean, Ronaldo. I think the problem that he has right now is because he did not go to preseason with the team, and most of the time that is where the problem is. When you don't have that time to gel with the new players in the team, the likes of course, it has taken a little bit of some time for Casemiro also to gel with the team, even though he's not reached the level that we saw at Real Madrid. But now, at least now you can see that he's a little bit better comparing to how he came at United. So I think with Ronaldo and his age, we just need to give him some time, and then we'll see the flashes of his best towards as the season progresses.
So
yeah, that's what I say about Ronaldo.
let's hope things get better for him. Yes. So
let's now finish about Chelsea. There's something that we've not talked about. Of course, we're getting a lot of injuries lately, and I'm starting wondering why. Because yesterday, of course, it was not an injury per se, but they are saying that he felt a little bit sick. Gallagher felt a little bit sick, and the manager decided to change him from the field. And the manager is hoping that it's not going to be probably a 24-hour thing. He felt sick. Then yesterday we also, I think who else got out injured? Nobody. I think Gallagher was the only one. Then the last match we lost James. Last time again we lost a couple of players. Seems that something that is continuing at Chelsea. We seem to be losing very important players at a very crucial stage of the season, because this is the season. This is the time that there's a lot of accumulation of so many games that you're supposed to be getting the points, but unfortunately we are not getting most of our best players in the field. The likes of James that we rely so much on, the likes of N'Golo Kante, as you said, it has become a problem to keep him fit right now. Seems that most of the time he gets injured. He hasn't contributed anything this season. he has only played only one match. I mean, the Spurs match. So what do we do about that? Because when you look at our defense right now, we are relying on very old players. We are relying on Koulibaly and Silva now. And these are the players that you cannot give them a run of so many games. They will get tired because they're old. So what do we do now? Because Fofana also got injured. So there's a lot of problems.
And those are the players you are depending on this season.
Yeah.
That's why I said you guys have to sign. You have to strengthen your team. Because I feel like you guys are not yet ready, because this Premier League is tough, especially this season. It's very tough. It's a tough one. It's not easy.
We bought so many defenders.
So Chelsea
we really need to go back and buy defenders now.
As for us, we also have we are a good example. We have very many defenders, but actually in January we are going to get another one so that he can challenge Gabriel. He can give Gabriel competition. Yes. So actually, you know, the thing is, let me give you a very good example.
Yeah.
You guys have very many defenders, as you've said, but you know, these guys are old, and that's a mistake that Barcelona did. Actually, everyone was old in that squad when Messi was leaving. I think it was one season before Messi left. That team had players who were very, very old. We had Rakitic, we had Vidal, we had Busquets who's still there. They had Jordi Alba. They had a lot of old players. They had Suarez, but Suarez was performing. So by the time those players left, these guys had not yet invested in their team. They had not invested their team with young players. They never had any young players. You know, you have to have young players who are going to learn from the players with experience.
Exactly.
You have to. Yes, you have to. By the time these old players leave the team, or when you sell them or they leave for other clubs, you will have these young players who are playing together with the old players, because when the old players leave, at least these young players would have grasped something, or got something from the old players. So that's what I'm talking about. So Barcelona is a very good example. So actually, you guys have to have young players, like young defenders. At least they can learn something from people like Silva and Koulibaly. Actually, I feel that you guys have to go to the market. Actually, Malang Sarr, where's Malang Sarr? You sold the guy, or is he on loan?
Oh, he went out on loan. I think he went out on loan somewhere. I don't remember the team that he went. But I think we have so many defenders, and we let go of defenders. We even sold some of the defenders. Remember the exchange between Brighton and Chelsea, Colwell? I think that player was a central defender. When we sold, who else did we sell? We sold a couple of defenders to other teams. So I'm surprised that now we can only rely on Chalobah as our defender, because with Fofana injured.
Yes. But as for me, I was against you guys signing Fofana. I was against that signing. Actually, you said you have a lot of defenders. Which defenders are you talking about? Fofana?
We have Fofana. We have Fofana, right? We have Koulibaly. We have Silva.
Yes.
Right. Then we have that Colwell, who went to Brighton. I think he went there on loan. And again, we have who else? I think we have another player who went out on loan. And then we have Ampadu. Malang Sarr still went on loan. Ampadu can also play as a centre back. So we have so many defenders who can be trained to play. Yeah.
You guys never sold Ampadu. Is he out on loan?
Yeah, he's out on loan.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think
let's try see.
Continue.
Because what I'm talking about, you guys have to have like backup defenders, like young defenders, like the likes of Ampadu. Like you see the way Mikel Arteta is trying to rebuild this Arsenal team. All the defenders are young. So we have Saliba, we have Gabriel, but Gabriel nowadays is kind of shaky. But actually in January, we will be going for another defender. So we have a group of young defenders. So if you look at it very well, if you look deep into it, actually you'll realize that when these players, when they play like for 1 or 2 more seasons, actually they will be good. Actually, I hope they will be good because actually they will have this Premier League experience. They will have got a lot of experience. They will know on how to flourish in this Premier League Premier League challenge. So you see, that's what I'm talking about. So you guys have
something that I've learned. You see, something that I've seen from Chelsea right now. We have. It seems that our DNA now is to play with 3 at the back, 3 center backs, right? And that means if you have the 3 of them in the field playing, you will not have someone to replace if someone gets injured. If one central defender gets injured, you will not have somebody to replace that the one that is injured. So that's why you need like 5 central defenders, whereby if something happens to the 2 of them in the field, you'll have to replace them. Now it becomes a problem because right now the only player that we have who can replace them as a central defender is Chalobah. When now we have Fofana who is injured. Sometimes when Silva doesn't play, of course, it's a bit odd. You cannot rely on him in maybe 38 games of the season. So it becomes a challenge to replace him with another person because we can only rely on the 3. If that is what you're playing, the 3 at the back, that means you should have each and every game that you go into, you should have three central defenders who are fit. You see, so you don't have someone to replace when maybe a central defender gets injured. So that's a challenge. Right now, we don't have any other central defender to replace those ones who are playing at the moment because we can only rely on Chalobah, Silva, and Koulibaly. If they get injured, that means if one gets injured, then that means we have to convert one fullback to play as a central defender. So that's a bit scary.
Yes, that's an issue. That's why you can see that Loftus-Cheek played as a right wing back yesterday.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of issues I'm talking about now.
Exactly. Now let's talk about United then. From the game yesterday, what did you learn from the game yesterday? Of course, they also got a clean sheet, and the partnership between Varane and Martinez seems to be a very good partnership.
Yes, actually, this United team is quite different. They have really improved.
I've heard you praising them a lot. I mean, what have you learned from them? Because I think this is the second game that I've seen them play well. Yesterday was the second game that I've seen them play well this season. The first game I saw them play well was against who? Against even Arsenal. I was not convinced with their performance. I wasn't so much convinced with the performance. In fact, yesterday they played very well. That is the only game that I've seen them dominate from first to finish. But most of their games against Leicester, I was not convinced with their results, with their performance. Against Manchester United, against Arsenal, of course, they got a result, but I was not convinced by their performance. Against Liverpool, the same. And I think yesterday they dominated against a very big team. And I think I saw a little bit of improvement from them. Is it an improvement or it is just a normal thing? Because last season they beat Spurs 3-0. Ronaldo scoring a hat-trick.
So there is an improvement because I'd say that you said they beat Arsenal, they beat Liverpool, and actually you are not convinced from the way they were playing. So the previous seasons. They never convinced the fans. They never convinced the fans at all. But they never convinced the fans, and they were losing games. But right now, actually, you are saying that they never convinced you, especially against Arsenal and Liverpool. And you know what matters is they still won. You see, there is a very very big difference. So actually, when you looked at Man United, actually last season, I remember very well. I remember even I think we were together most of the times during last season. You could,
Yeah.
I was really enjoying to watch Man United because I knew they were struggling. Actually, like everyone knew, they are going to lose this game. Let me go watch United today.
Yeah.
Uh,
Enjoying their own. Mhm.
yes, actually, last season they had no spirit. Players like Luke Shaw, player, everyone was blaming Luke Shaw. Everyone was blaming Maguire. You see, like everyone was like, okay, Man United are going to draw today. They are going to lose this game. You could see they lost against Brighton. Was it a 4-0? They lost against many, many teams. They really, really struggled against these average teams. Even the big teams, they lost against some of the big teams. But when you look at United right now, like a good example is last weekend, they got a draw against Newcastle. And Newcastle is a very good team. Newcastle is even I expect us to get trouble against Newcastle. If we won't be careful, we will lose against Newcastle. So even if they got a draw, even if maybe they lose or slip a little bit, but the kind of game they are playing now, you can see this is a very different United. The style of play is very, very different. The guys are trying to possess, the guys are trying to attack, and when it comes to defending, they are also trying. So it's a very, very different United. And Ten Hag is still fresh. I'd say that he's still new in the Premier League. So actually, this is a very, very different United. Because seeing United beating Liverpool, especially Liverpool, beating Arsenal and beating Spurs as well, that's a very very it's a very very good progress, because during the previous seasons they couldn't beat a team like Liverpool. They conceded 5 goals against Liverpool last season during the first leg,
Exactly.
and they were at home. I remember very well. So this season they were at home and they won. They managed to win 2-1 against Liverpool. They won against Arsenal 3-1. Yesterday they got a win against Spurs 2-0, and maybe on Saturday, maybe they will get another win. You never know. They might win again. So that should tell you that this is a very, very different United team. It's a very different one compared
So
to the
what normally
previous.
happens? What
Compared to
normally
the,
happens is sorry for interruption, but what normally happens when they meet the small teams, the so-called smaller teams, because as you said, they've reaped results from bigger teams, from the top six. When you look at they beat Manchester, they beat Liverpool, they beat Arsenal, they beat Spurs, but they lost against Manchester City heavily. They lost heavily against Manchester City, and now they're going to face Chelsea on the weekend, on Saturday. I mean, they're going to meet Chelsea at the Bridge. So, what do you expect them to change the way they've been playing against the big teams, against the small teams? Because the smaller teams seems to be giving them a lot of challenges.
yes,
They've lost points against Newcastle. They've lost points against Brighton. They've lost points against Brentford, the so-called
yes.
smaller. So I think there's something they've not grasped on how on beating the smaller teams, or the so-called smaller teams.
I wouldn't say that these people are underrating these small teams, but the players, whenever they play against big teams, the mentality is quite different. So I think they just have to deal with the mentality they have. When they play against these average teams, they still have to have a very good mentality. They have to know that they have to play each and every game like it's a final, no matter the team you're playing against, whether it's a big team, whether it's a small team, whether it's an average team. They have to give their best for the team. They have to play each and every game like it's a final. So I'd say that it's just a mentality. They have to change their mentality. They have to play each and every game equally. Each and every game equally. So that's what I'm talking about. United just have to, I think they just have to deal with their mentality, because when they play against these average teams, they really struggle compared to playing against these big teams, these big six teams. So I'd say that it's just dealing with the mentality, because I feel like, whenever you play against an average team, you might try to underrate the team you're playing against. You'll be like, okay, today we are playing against Nottingham Forest, for example. So this is an average team. So the mentality, the fighting spirit is quite different. So that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So the mentality must change. The mentality must change. Every game, you must take each and every game like it's a final. You have to fight. You have to show the spirit. You have to have a very positive mentality whenever you are playing against each and every team. So guys, we are talking about Manchester United. As for me, I feel like I can see a very different United team. Actually, United have really progressed. Actually, they are trying to show what they can offer this season, and I feel like, as for me, I'm an Arsenal fan. So I'd say that Man United and Man City, according to me, we are on top of the table. So I feel like Man City and Man United, they are going to be a very big threat this season, because Man United started the EPL. They slipped a little bit. They lost. They got a draw. Actually, they dropped points against Brighton. They lost. They dropped points against Brentford again. Last weekend, they dropped 2 points against Newcastle. They got a draw. But actually, when you try to look at this current Man United team, because at first, it's very different, and it is an issue whereby we see a new manager coming in. Actually, he's trying every manager has his own tactics. He has his very own style of play. So that's what I'm talking about. So whenever a manager comes in, he has to know each and every player. Does this type of player fit into my into my system? Can he play the type of game I want him to play? So these are the kind of things I'm talking about. Each and every manager has his own tactics. He has his very own style of play. So that's what I'm talking about. So guys, whenever a new manager comes in, he has to know each and every player. Does this player, can he play into my system? Can he fit into my system? So that's the issue with the United. They slipped a little bit at the beginning of the season, but right now we can see that they are really trying. When you watch these guys, you can see what these guys are trying to do. You can see what they are trying to offer. So I feel like this is a very different United team. And I know when you watched United play against Spurs yesterday, and I'd say that I really enjoyed watching that game. I really enjoyed, because actually it was a very good game. Because actually before the season started, at the beginning of the season, I think many of us said that Spurs are going to cause trouble. But from the look of things, it's quite different. It's very quite different, because yesterday we saw Spurs struggling. They really strained. A player like Son really struggled. Kane, he was nowhere to be seen. Against Arsenal, they really struggled as well. So, guys, we can see that also Antonio Conte said that whenever they play against a big team, they play their best game. But whenever they play their best game, they really struggle. So I don't know what Antonio Conte is going to do. Actually, I don't know whether he's going to have new tactics. I don't know, but actually, let's hope for the best. Let's because the season is still young, and let's wait and see what this season is going to offer for all the teams. So it's good to see you back. Yes, let's continue.
Okay, thank you so much. Sorry for that. So we can say you said that it was because Spurs were a bit poor yesterday. That's why we didn't see them compete in a lot of action. Because when I look at the midfield yesterday, there was a little bit of change. Bentancur didn't play with Højbjerg in the center. Højbjerg was alone. I think Højbjerg was partnering with Bissouma. I think it was the first time when they were playing together as a pair, and at least it was a bit of a challenge for Højbjerg because he used to playing with Bentancur. Bentancur was a little bit on an advanced role. Was given an advanced role up front because they lacked Richarlison and also Kulveski. I think that was a challenge yesterday. There was no proper coordination in the midfield yesterday.
Yes.
And so that's why the challenge was. Manchester United did overrun them in the midfield, and also at the defense, Ken didn't get so many chances. Even from the headers, I did not see him getting so many chances as he is used to getting the chances. So yesterday, I think Spurs were a little bit poor. The mistakes from the midfield that allowed Fred to get that chance, and again, there are also mistakes in the defense that allowed that ball to be collected by Bruno Fernandes to score that beautiful goal. So yesterday, I think a lot of mistakes from Spurs did cost them a game yesterday.
Yes. So
where do you see United from yesterday's game? I mean, they are going to face Chelsea come this weekend, and of course, they are meeting. The two teams have been performing not really bad. When you look at Chelsea, of course, they've been getting the clean sheets. Yesterday, it was the first time they've not scored under Potter. This is the first time they've not scored under Graham Potter. So, what do you expect them on Saturday? What are they going to do? Their best squad. They started with Broja up front. Sterling did not start. And when you look at United, they played all their best players. I don't know whether the manager decided to rest some of the best players so that they can face United in the weekend, or what do you think was the strategy? From Graham Potter, and what do you expect from a game that they are going to be playing on Saturday against United?
Actually, I'd say that as for me, first of all, I'd say I expect United to win this match. I feel like this is going to be a very easy match for United.
But they've not won for a very long time. They've not won at Stamford Bridge for a very long time.
Yes, and this time they are going to win. Mm-hmm. I feel like this time they are going to win because from the style of play they are playing right now compared to the previous seasons, right now they have a very, very different manager. You know, they've not won at Chelsea for a very, very long time. They had Ole Gunnar, they had Ralph, they had Carrick for a short term. So actually, I feel like they are going to win this Saturday because actually this is a very, very different United team. They are very, very ruthless. They are trying to get goals. They are forcing issues. They are really forcing to win games.
When you look at United, they've not scored so many goals. In fact, when you look at their goal difference, they have a 0 goal difference. And I think the only match I remember they conceded so many goals was against City. And fortunately, they scored 3 goals, so they had a deficit of 3. But when you look at them, they've not 10 games in, they have a 0 goal difference, and you still call them ruthless.
Yes, but the thing is, I'd say that also. Okay, you might say that they are not ruthless, but don't even expect to get out with a clean sheet this Saturday. Don't expect to. Yes.
When you look at that we played against them, most of them have they've not scored against us. Remember when we played against them when we had Tuchel, we got a 0-0 draw. Against Lampard, we got a 0-0 draw. Then we got a 1-1 draw against them at Old Trafford. So, and we played very well. The only problem is that we got a little bit complacency and gave them a chance to score a goal. That chance, Sancho goal. So I don't think it has been an easy fixture for the two teams.
Okay, the issue is you said you guys have been drawing and have been getting those kind of results, but the question is, During those times,
Yeah.
who was the manager? Who was the manager during those times? What was their style of play? What were their strategies? What kind of players were playing those matches? You see, that's what I'm. Because if the reason as why I'm saying this is a very different United team. Let's talk about a few examples. Let's talk about their defense. They have this partnership of Martinez and Varane. And you've seen also Luke Shaw is now stepping up. You've also seen that a player like Diogo Dalot stepping up as well. You know, these previous seasons, we had players like Maguire. We had Luke Shaw, who was not at his best. But right now, Luke Shaw is a very different Luke Shaw. He's really fighting for the team. He's very, very clinical, by the way. So I'd say that this is a very, very different team. They have players like Casemiro. You've said that he's not yet at his best, so that's true. But you know, it's quite different. They have different. They have a very, very different mentality. They have new signings. They have new players. This player I'm always praising a lot, Anthony. They have players like Anthony. They have Rashford, who's really, really trying these days. You can't compare him to the previous like 2 seasons. He's trying to get goals as well. So they have Sancho, who's really trying. So this is a very, very different team you are going to face this time.
Yeah.
Yes. So their mentality is very, very different. And actually, these guys have to praise Ten Hag. Ten Hag has brought something into this United team. The mentality is quite different. The fighting spirit is also there. The strategies. You can also see the strategies. These guys are trying to get goals. These guys are playing to win games. You know, the other times, like last season when they had Ralph, those guys were just playing to finish the match. They were just playing. So okay, let's go play. Let's play until 90. We finish this match. They had players like Maguire. Maguire's presence itself, it demotivates you.
Exactly.
Yeah, so this is a very, very different team, because whenever each and every player is trying to play his role, actually you will be motivated. When you see your defender really trying, also you as the third, you'll really try. You wouldn't want to let the team down. So that's what I'm talking about. This is a very, very different team right now. It's a very, very different team.
Okay, we'll look at, of course, they've gone through a lot of tests. They've gone through Liverpool, they've gone through Arsenal, they've won against Spurs. At least they've passed all the tests. So I don't know how they play against Chelsea, because I believe we've also improved from where we were the last time we met them, because we have a good goalkeeper at the moment. He's doing well. The defense is keeping the clean sheet. You see, when you meet two teams with a lot of confidence, and most of the players seems to be improving, it becomes a very good match to watch, and it all boils down to details. So we'll see how they react to some of the best things, or some of the challenges in the field. So we'll see how the managers. It also boils down to the tactics. So we'll see how the managers will be fighting it out on the tactics, and where it's going to be won and lost. So I think that is that. Let's talk about Arsenal. We have 7 minutes to talk about Arsenal. You heard only 1 hour in this show. Let's talk about Arsenal versus PSV tonight. What do you expect from Arsenal tonight?
Actually, as an Arsenal fan, I really expect it to be very tough. This is a very, very tough match today, because PSV is a very, very big team. It's not an average team. Yes, it's a very, very big team. So today, despite playing against this good team, of which it's PSV, I still expect us to win. But you know, the problem is, I've watched all Arsenal's Europa League games this season, and actually we are not playing very well in Europa. I can say that we are not playing very compared to the EPL. So you know, in the Europa we play a very, very different team. We play players like Lokonga. We give them a chance. We give a chance to Nketiah. We give a chance to Reece Nelson. So those are the kind of players we are playing in the Europa League. We give Matt Tuna a chance, of which I feel like he's not a very, very good goalkeeper like Ramsdale, but okay. So they deserve the chance. They deserve the chance. But actually, today I think Mikel Arteta he can't play the real first 11. He's playing in the EPL. But actually, if he's going to give these young players a chance, I feel like he has to put a few players with experience in the game. He has to play players like Shaka. He has to play a player like Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu has to start. And actually, when it comes to the centre backs, he should play a player like Saliba and maybe Holding. That's what I'm talking about. He should also play a player like Tierney. Yeah, so he should try balance this Arsenal team so that actually we wouldn't get a lot of trouble when the second half comes. Now he can change the team. He can bring in the top players like Gabriel Jesus now, so that they can finish. The match. So I think it's going to be a very, very tough test. It's going to be hard for us, but actually I think we will win that match.
Okay, for me, I think I expect a very tough match from PSV tonight because this is going to be a real test. PSV are doing very well at Netherlands. They have a very good coach, Van Nistelrooy, and he's done something to that team. So I expect a tough challenge. And if really you guys are going to lose this season in probably in Europa League, probably it's going to be today. Because when you look at PSV, the way they are drilled. I think they are going to give you a tough challenge. So as you said, you should try and give a chance to your best players, the likes of Saliba, because they've not had a match. Maybe Saka should play. Who else? Saliba, Gabriel, even the two Gabriels should start the game. Ramsdale should be on the goal. Nketiah should be given a chance. Okay, he should also be given a chance, but let's try with Gabriel Jesus in the first minute to around 75 minutes so that at least you can see the game out and probably get goals to secure you to the next stage. Because you've won all the 3 matches, right?
Yes.
Yes, if you get a win today, that means you're going to qualify.
Actually, I don't have any problem with Nketiah starting. Even Matt Tuna on the post, I don't have an issue with that. But actually, these players have to have that kind of mentality that we are playing against a top team. If they have a mentality that okay, this is just PSV, we are going to win this match, then that's wrong, because PSV is a very, very top team. They are really doing great in Netherlands, and as you have said, they have a very, very good coach who's Van Nistelrooy. So I think these players have to have that fighting spirit. They have to have a positive mentality. As I've said, you have to play each and every game like it's a final. If you don't have that spirit, if you don't have that kind of mentality, then probably you're going to lose the match. But actually, we really have to try. We really have to play each and every game like it's a final. So today it's going to be a very, very big test for Arsenal. It's going to be a very, very big one. So actually, I really hope that these Arsenal players, the team that I'm supporting, they will go into that match with the very, very different mentality. They should not underrate a team like PSV. PSV is a very, very good team. So actually, I believe it will be a very, very tough test for Arsenal, but I think we will win that match. No matter the scoreline, no matter how many goals we score, but I think it will be a very, very narrow win. So what matters is the 3 points. We need the 3 points, and if we get them today, then we would have qualified. I think we will be still first on the table, and actually, I don't think if any team will be near us when it comes to points. No team will be close to us. So I really, really expect us to go into that match with a very, very good mentality. Are you there? So guys, let's today it's going to be Arsenal versus PSV. Arsenal will be at home at the Emirates, if I'm not wrong. So actually, this will be a very, very tough match. I really expect it to be a very, very tough match as we wait for the weekend, because the weekend also has very, very tough matches as well. We have very, very tough matches in the EPL. So let's try and see what Arsenal will do today, because it's a very, very tough test. And actually, as an Arsenal fan, I really, really hope for the best. I really expect us to win that match, simply because PSV is a very, very top team, and I think we will give our best. I think the players are going to play that match very well.
Thank you so much. So let's finish there. Of course, we'll be watching that match tonight, and after that, tomorrow we'll be here doing the review. Or rather, if we get time, we'll do that tonight. We'll do the review tonight and see how Arsenal have played. And also tomorrow we'll be having the previews of games that are going to be played this weekend. Of course, a big match will be Manchester United versus Chelsea, which Chelsea will be at home at Stamford Bridge. We'll see how that goes. And some other matches, we'll give you the update of the matches that are going to be played this weekend. So guys, please, if you're here for the first time and you've not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing to the channel, so that each and every time we are here, we are having a discussion about football, about the matches. And if you're here and you like betting, we sometimes give predictions which come true. So make sure that you tune in and get the predictions right. Because last week we got in 5 predictions correct. We only missed, I think, we only missed the Liverpool one. Because I'm the only one who said Liverpool are going to win, but the others said one guy said that Man United are going to draw, and they drew. So if you took his word, then you got something from that. And I said Liverpool are going to win. If you heard that from me, just know you heard here first, and Liverpool won. So guys, be with us tomorrow as we'll be doing the previews of the matches and giving our prediction on how the matches are going to be played. So guys, welcome. Thank you so much for the time that you've been with us. Let's meet tonight. If at all, we'll have a show tonight. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye.